By your real quick. Thank you.
Alright, so radio masters are set, lights are checked.
I checked fire warning earlier.
Okay. That's all good, that's all good, that's all good. Standby power is checked and set. All search ready. That's all good, that's all good, that's all good. Lights are on, we don't need emergency lighting. Brakes are set to check. Ignition's are off. Disconnects, we've got the cover. Okay, remember start number 2 whenever you are.
Ground, clear to start 2.
Turning number 2.
Okay.
Don't have a start valve.
We got air.
There it goes. Everything must be just slow to open. So
Oh.
It's been a while.
Okay. I was going to say, I shut everything off. It's going right to number 2, so. N2's live. Oh, it does have oil pressure, so this one does work. I was thinking one of them didn't.
Since he's been sitting around for a while, we'll see what happens.
N2's at 10, oil pressure 25.
She's lit. Now she's running.
Oil pressure's at 30, climbing 15 into. On oil, coming up on 20. Generator's live. Oh, it was.
Ground start release.
40% into oil pressure's good.
7 on idle. Out of the bridge.
Green on oil.
Alright, just idling on.
Hey, Bessler.
Yo.
Can he come sit in the co-pilot seat?
Certainly. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing?
Copy.
Oh my God. Tension on deck. Delta's on board. Tension on deck. Delta's
Awesome.
Okay. Cross bleed.
No, I don't want to cross bleed them. Just we're going to do an APU start because we got a stand behind us. I don't want to bump up the power and blow that stand over. So we'll just use APU air and go ahead and open your number 1. Yeah, you're good there. Yep.
I still need that open, don't I?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So you ready on number 1?
Yes. Number 1.
Kerry said we're clear.
Yes. Number 1's clear.
Starter's in on number 1. Start valve's open. pilot named Steve Gunn at Delta. We had so many pilots.
Gunn sounds familiar though.
Steve and I flew an L-1011 to Thailand. Steve was going to go to work for an airline that I was dealing with over in Thailand. And we were up in Mojave picking the airplane up, getting ready to fly it over to Thailand. I walk into this Circle K store. And here's this pilot standing in uniform. I'm wearing a t-shirt, blue jeans. And of course, in Victorville, the only airport around is Southern California. So I look at this pilot and go, looks like you're getting ready to go do what we're doing. He looks at me and goes, yeah, what would that be? I said, go flying. And he kind of gave me a funny look. He goes, yeah, I'm going flying today. I said, where are you going? He goes, Thailand. I said, well, you must be going with me.
Ground stop of 5055 on
excuse me?
Gate
I said, yeah, we're flying an L-1011 over to Thailand. He goes, yeah, I'm going over for a job interview, and they told me to go catch this airplane and ride over with you. I said, all right, cool, nice to meet you. So we introduced ourselves to Steve, and Steve, typical Delta. I mean, he had just retired from Delta, so he's got his light bag and his bus driver's hat. I mean, he's full regalia. He's like, well, where's flight operations? We're like, you're standing right in the middle of it. This is it. And we get a phone call from the owner of the airplane that says, you guys cannot RO in Hawaii tonight. Because the airplane's late being delivered, you have got to firewall through and bring that airplane straight. He says, I need that airplane. So I'm flying with a guy by the name of Rod Boone. Ground start release.
And two good.
On idle.
Well,
so I'm
good.
flying with a guy by the name of Rod Boone. And Rod looks over at Steve. He says, how long has it been since you've flown the Tristar? Steve goes, about 5 years. He goes, we're flying heavy crew. He says, you're flying tonight. So we go hauling ass over to Bangkok, and we started out of LA, went up to Oakland, met the FAA up in Oakland to get our ferry permit and our paperwork to fly the airplane to Thailand. Went from Oakland to Hawaii, Hawaii to Guam, Guam to Thailand. So Steve is full Delta regalia in Victorville. We get to Oakland, he's got his coat off, his hat off, and his tie down. We get to Hawaii, he's got his tie off, shirt off, flying in his uniform pants and shoes. Out of Hawaii, he's flying in the right seat in his underwear and slippers. We get to Thailand. We weren't in Thailand 2 hours. I saw him come through the hotel lobby with 2 hookers and a beer in his hand. We're like, dude, you are one of us. We want you in the airline today. You want the job?
My brother's the UPS captain on the N910.
Yeah.
He flies in a kimono all the time. He takes off his uniform.
I still fly with Steve. He's clear on 3, we'll start 3.
Copy. Clear on 3. Start.
Yeah, I still talk with Steve. I still fly with Steve at Orbital. But yeah, I'll never go to Steve. I said, that was the fastest guy I've seen go down in flames. In less than 22 hours, you went from full with regalia to hookers and sing-ha.
Just saw his real colors.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Turn in 3.
Turn 3.
Start valves open. I love Steve. He's a great guy.
All pressure 20. Into 5.
Well, we haven't had all 3 engines on this thing running since we flew it in here.
Really?
Yeah. We've had the wing engines once in a while running, but this is the first time we've had all 3 of them turning and burning since we flew it in here.
Got hydraulics A through D. Oh, oil quantity is the one that doesn't work. That's, we check.
Yeah,
that.
oil quantity I don't care about as long as we have pressure and temp is in the green.
Yeah. 35 on oil.
Yeah, I knew about the oil quantity. Just monitor pressure and temperature.
Yeah.
Pressure goes down and temperature goes up.
9120, that's good. Runway 1 on the right. Taxi by
20 into, you're in the green on oil.
Alright, 1 on the right. The Bravo, Alpha 4, and Alpha 300 is 9120.
Start release.
30 into 60 climbing on oil. Generator up.
Ground Endeavor,
generator, it flickered and now it's,
You see that open differential light right there? You see that orange on the panel, on the generator? Push that. Now go to your left and push the flow bar. There you go.
oh, okay. What tripped on it?
It could just be that it's cold and it took some oil pressure to get it going. Now come down from the one you just pushed them one below and tie it to the bus.
I'm showing 0 on the...
Yeah, because it's not tied to the bus. No, that's tying it to the bus. I just isolated it. Now bring it back on and tie it to the bus. It's got to generate open diff, which means that generator, there's something wrong with that generator between there and the bus, and it's not going to allow it to tie to the airplane.
Okay.
Go and look at the Volson freak sign and see what it looks like.
So did you fly these when you worked for Delta?
No, I was...
Go up and hit your differential again.
Gotcha.
Now close it. Now, close it till the flow bar light comes back on. It's not gonna let you do it.
It's a hard fault now.
Yeah, you got something. There's a fault between that on that generator, between the generator and the generator control unit. So yeah, the GCU's probably gone bad.
Yeah.
The GCU or the generator breaker. PMG is there, so the generator. Yeah, there's something wrong with that generator. It won't do even a couple watts. That IDG failed.
I ain't changing it.
Ask her, how long does Kerry want to run these things for?
How many dinosaurs do you want to kill? Hey Kerry, how long do you want to run? Copy.
Boxes downstairs. Alright, gonna bring down 1 and 3.
Okay.
1's down, 3's down. Cooling down, cooling down. APU up and on the line?
Yes, APU's. Yeah, I never switched out of APU.
2's coming down.
Okay.
2 is down. Cooling down, cooling down.
Does it make you want to just take off and fly it for a bit?
You know what? It does, because I love this airplane. I'd love to go fool around the park.
I would love to see it back up in the air. You know, just the L-1011 type in general.
Yes, sir. Terminate our engine runs at this time, and we're going to clear your frequency and make sure you're home. You too, sir. I love this airplane. I mean,
It's really too bad because, you know, we have plenty of DC-10 still flying. Why not the Tristar?
the engines.
Just the main.
That was the downfall of the airplane from the very beginning. If they had built this airplane with the ability to put different engines on it, like every other airplane in the world, they'd still be building this airplane.
Really?
Yep. I'm firmly convinced they'd have never quit building it because everybody loved it that ever flew the airplane.
But yeah, just not enough people could be talked into it, huh?
Yeah, it is. But every time I get into this too, I mean, I started working on the Tristar in 1984 at Lockheed. A little bit earlier than you. 76. The first 6 certified flight crew members on the L-1011, the Lockheed test crews, the first 6 that ever got type rated in the airplane and did all the test flights out of Delta, they're all good friends of mine. I've flown with all of them.
Oh, wow.
There's only 3 of them Yeah, there's only 3 of them. No, 4 of them. Rod Boone, Bill Weaver, Don Moore.
Who's another name?
Yeah, Rod was one of the original.
I think that, you know, in performance sheets, because they always have their names written down.
Yeah, because they did all the delivery airplanes for the airlines. Yeah, they did all the delivery flights for the airlines and trained the flight crews.
Now,
Yeah, I was at Lockheed on the acceptance flight line in Albany in 1984.
Earlier than that.
Oh yeah.
They started with Delta 72, so.
would you guys have an issue if I posted this video? You guys doing this on the Facebook group?
Shit, there's enough of me on the internet doing this crap already.
He's a movie star. He just doesn't know it.
No, I was taxiing one, and there's a girl sitting in the right seat. And the airplane hadn't moved in a couple of years. I was doing a high speed down the runway. There's a guy sitting here, a guy sitting there, and a girl sitting there. And we're all watching her because she's running down the runway. I damn near ran the airplane off the fucking runway. And I did not realize the guy back here was videoing it, and he put it on YouTube. My mother calls me and she says, "You really ought to watch what you're saying and doing when you do this kind of." I'm driving that. I mean, I damn near ran the airplane off the runway.
You're sick, Mark.
And this guy stands up next to me, and I couldn't help it.
Hey,
So
be
I'm
careful
watching
about
her.
which Mark you say. That Mark.
I said, I'm sitting here watching her titties bounce. I said, damn it. My mother said, "You really ought to watch what you say."
That was a good start.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
Cool, normal.
Yeah. And that's we have not had all 3 engines on this thing running at the same time since we flew it in here.
Wow.
You had 1 and 3 running last week. Was it last week you did that? Or?
Yeah, but for the longest time we were only cranking number 3 because number 1 wouldn't start.
Sure. Go ahead.
And just the fuel flow regulator. But number 2, we haven't cranked it that I know of since we landed it here.
Hey, Mark. This Mark. Oh. No, sir. What was wrong? You guys took off from Tucson and got an hour out, and what went wrong?
We
Something
shut the number 2 engine down. That was Bob Pelletier that decided to stick a